Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. And today we're continuing our dive back into the Valaverse line. And I figured now would be a good time to take a look at the leader of Action Force, as Bobby has described him before, or at least one of the leaders in the chain of command, and that being Colonel Seige. Colonel Seige was a sort of a surprise for me, if I'm being honest. When Bobby initially teased this character, I thought, oh, we're going to start leaning into a bit more of a Western type theme. Because I know Bobby wants to sort of tackle other themes, especially with this upcoming Action Force World War One sort of figure and World War Two figures, which I'm absolutely looking forward to. And I thought, I wonder what Bobby could do if he sort of tackled the Western sort of style theme, but turns out no, this guy, whilst he does have some sort of Western characteristics, he is just a modern sort of military colonel. And let's dive right in. So, this is how I typically display mine. I normally just have him with the cigar hand, looking stoically, as if he's contemplating his next battle strategies and things like that. And full disclaimer, there was a QC issue when this figure initially came out. However, Valaverse has directly addressed that ever since. But on my copy, I never received the parts that I needed to correct the QC issue. But if I'm being honest, it doesn't really bother me because it is a sort of issue that is kind of hidden as is. But for those that do notice it. And that being when the butterfly joints came out, they are, I believe, the sort of wrong colour. I believe they were meant to match the jacket and the arm instead of being the blue top. Again, I didn't bother with mine because I never received the parts. I didn't exactly reach out to Valaverse to correct them, so it's not a fault on Valaverse's part that my copy is just the way it is. So it's a full disclaimer. It's just because I never bothered with it. It's because to me it's a minor issue. But if you do buy this figure, as I do believe he is still in stock, all you have to do is reach out to Valaverse and they will send you the figure with the corrected parts. I believe before you did have to reach out to with your order number and things like that, so where they could just send you the parts. But now I believe when you buy the figure, same with Atlas, who's a figure who'll be coming up after this review. Whenever you buy the figure itself, he will automatically come with the new parts that you need to swap out and exchange. But let's dive right in. And as always with Valaverse head sculpts, I think this is a really cool head sculpt. I'm not sure who he's based off of, to be honest. The face is ringing a bell for me, but I cannot place the name of an actor or a character or anything like that. I want to say Manu Bennett, and that's just purely because of the goatee and the sort of cheek structure, but it's a very older one. But even then, that I think to me is pushing it. But I think he is based on a certain character from maybe a TV show or a sort of movie. Again, I don't recall Bobby saying that he is. But the figure itself is absolutely wonderful. I do love this figure. I love the giant sort of Action Force logo on his shirt, which is really cool. And the jacket itself is nice and textured. I love the texture on it. I believe Bobby did say that this jacket is based off one that he does actually own. And he was just like, yep, let's get this into the line. It does have the hole for the backpacks as always. And then let's get into some of the other detail. These holsters. I've not really experimented much with these, but I do know that if you unclip the belt and then I think the other clips are underneath right there, so you can sort of just untab all these and take them off should you wish. I never bother with that because to me this sort of completes his look. But they are also nicely textured with this nice sort of leathery look. All the belts and rivets are nicely painted. Mine has faded a little bit. Again, this is a slightly older figure for me, so mine has faded, and I do like to sort of take this one and pose him variously and whatnot. So whenever I'm fiddling around with him, I have caught some of the paint off. Again, that's not a fault on Valve's part, that's just me and my general handling. Cannot stress that enough. But the cigar detail is really nice, got a nice little bit of ash on the end there. Camera's not going to pick it up very well, but it is nice and brown. All the way down to his cargo pants. Really nice. Now, accessories. As you see, he comes with dual rhino pistols, which are done in this really nice silver. And they just sit nicely within there. Again, comes with the hand that has the cigar in it already, as well as a trigger finger. And then this head sculpt, which is just his normal sort of stoic look. But he does come with some other accessories. So, right off the bat, if you don't want him holding the cigar, he comes with a head that has the cigar look in it, which is really nice. Same hairstyle, same everything. And then he comes with this, I don't know what type of gun this is, but I do remember seeing it in a movie. I think it was just a similar sort of Western style movie or something like that, and the guy used this and he sort of did a really cool trick with his hand where like he just rolled it in his hand and then fired it and then put it back into a holster, I believe. Can't remember the name of the movie, but I do. I have seen this gun before. And it's really done nice in this sort of brown motif with black. Again, very nice and rigid. The sort of, I know this is a, I don't know if they call it a lever action or anything like that, but normally the way this gun sort of reloads is that you pull this section, hold down there, I believe that's what reloads it. Comes with the standard hands, comes with an extra trigger finger, but because I've got the cigar hand in there and the other trigger finger is already on him. And then, of course, 2 fists, 2 C-grips, and 2 undergrip hands. Overall, really good figure. Same standard articulation as always. Butterfly joints at the shoulders, shoulder hinge, bicep, double pinless elbows, double ball joint on the neck because this was Series 5 when the new neck joint came into fruition. You don't get a lot of up, and that's just because of the way the jacket collar is. But you can sort of fudge it. You can get some decent range anyway. As well as down. Ball joints at the waist and torso. Ball joints at the hips. Thigh rotation. Double pinless knees. Again, mine is quite stiff because mine just normally sits in his unit. And then a boot cut, which is actually at the trouser part. Yes, I still call them trousers. I'm British. Deal with it. And your standard forward-facing pin for rocker. So, all the standard articulation all round, as with Valibus, and continues to improve to this day. What do you think of Colonel Seige? To me, he's a character that I believe was really needed in the line. Though we had Condor, who was the sort of de facto leader, it's nice to get another one in that sort of chain of command, who's sort of like the end-all be-all, the guy that keeps everyone together and gives out the orders and things like that. But, as always guys, I'd appreciate it if you leave a comment in the comments section below, leave a like while you're down there, and If you can hit that subscribe button with a notification bell. And as always guys, I will see you in the next video.